Hey ladies, this is Mocha Mommy here bringing you another video. And in this video, I want to ask a question to you ladies. Black women, what are y'all doing? What are y'all doing? I mean, and really, this has been kind of inspired by content creator Marie Baker. I will definitely leave a link to her channel in the description box. I pinned her on my community tab because I really feel as if she's asking Black women, divested Black women, some very introspective questions that I think we might have to answer for ourselves, right? So my question is, what are you doing? And this is no shade to any content creator, because I really believe that the social commentary, the needed criticism, the critique, the view, the opinion pieces that have been done about issues in pop culture, especially Black American pop culture, they need to be discussed. But this question is for you, the subscriber, the viewer, the listener. What are you doing? I'm going to give you an example, okay? So I come back from vacation, and I've told you ladies in other videos that this is the job I've had. I'm working with more Black women than ever before at this particular hospital facility, okay? And there are two nurses stationed. There's one up front that faces the elevators. It greets all the patients, you know, and it's like the central front nurses station. But then there's like a nurses station on the east side, a little bit near the back. And it seems as if a lot of the Black nurses and CNAs kind of congregate there. And I do understand our culture of, especially here in the South, right? The Southwest, where we don't want to be kind of visible. We kind of want to keep our distance away from some of the leadership and white nurses because we feel as if we had been picked on or just because of our past history. Now, I'm at the back nurses station, kind of passing through, and I have another white nurse with me. And somehow the issue comes up about Nick Cannon and hygiene. I don't know if they're talking about a patient or a personal experience where they felt like they needed to kind of repeat what it was that Nick Cannon had said. So I said to myself, like, well, we really, Nick Cannon who? So I'm kind of trying to act like I don't know who he is, right? And they're like, oh, you know, Nick Cannon. I'm like, you mean that kid from Drumline, that movie like way long time ago, Drumline, right? Like, I know exactly who he is and I know exactly what he's about. But at the same time, I'm kind of seeing what they know about it. And then they talk about how he has all these baby mamas and all these kids all over the place and blah, blah, blah. And I was like, so some guy who decides to have all these relations with women who clearly have no self-respect is now suddenly surprised that these women don't have good hygiene? Like, so that's what you're trying to say? Because I'm trying to play dumb, right? And trying to get them to draw their own conclusion. And, you know, some of them I could see like the light bulb going off, like, yeah, you're right. And then I think about this old chucklehead ass Angela Yee, you know, pardon my language. I'm sorry, y'all. But this woman here, not even 2 years ago, she had Beatrice Dixon on her show talking about how the honey pot was basically selling off of the shelves, selling out in Target, and pretty much she couldn't keep her product on the shelves because of, you know, basically Black women going out there supporting the product. And Angela Yee is like, hey, you know, is trying to have this intelligent conversation about supply and demand and business funding and blah, 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 blah. But yet here she is co-signing Nick Cannon like he got some kind of bad call on, right? Talking about women's hygiene. Like, hold on, you was just over here. Come on now. I mean, it's so ridiculous to me. And then it was funny. I just kind of saw the light bulb goes off as I'm kind of asking these questions. And then, you know, another nurse, the white nurse that was with me, was like, it's interesting. Why does he think he can act this way? Because both Drew Carey and Wayne Brady have had much bigger platforms as far as comedy improv shows and much bigger platforms as far as being a game show host, but they don't act like this. And I was like, mic dropped. What's happening is that he's just trying to justify his degeneracy, and y'all keep talking about him, keeping this man relevant, because the reality is he hasn't really had too much of a crossover relevant project since Drumline, and then he fumbled the bag when it came to Masked Singer. And now probably these contracts are up, and he's trying to troll you guys as Black women, even though he don't even deal with Black women like that. But somehow it's implied that he's shading you. The same women who were selling Honey Pot, making Honey Pot a multi-million-dollar, cultural product that's going across continents, multiple continents now. Now, all of a sudden, he's trying to shade your hygiene. Get out of here. So anyway, Black women, what are y'all doing? What are y'all doing giving any kind of relevancy to this man and his stupidity? And technically, we can say the same thing about Neo, right? All these cheating rumors and this mess. But you notice we don't hear this kind of mess from like people like Ed Sheeran or Bruno Mars and their singers, songwriter, producers who also are married, but you don't hear all this mess about them. You know, all these messy women and messy stuff in their marriages, you know, and Ed Sheeran, what did he marry? He married like a NCAA Division I athlete. He married a lacrosse player from Duke who has a whole master's degree. And he doesn't even show pictures of his kids. Bruno Mars, we never even see pictures of his wife. These guys are what, like 4'11", but yet they protect their wives' images and they protect their wives' reputations in their public persona. And they probably even have maybe even a larger footprint than Neo internationally. So again, like men can't justify this type of behavior just because they're famous, because there are other famous men who are in the same position, if not in a higher position, who don't act like this. So we need to really stop co-signing on this stupidity. Like, same way Angela Yee, we just need to stop co-signing on this behavior and really stop giving these men the kind of clout that they deserve. They definitely deserve the criticism. So for the content creators who are making the social critiques, but we shouldn't be normalizing this behavior or really focusing on this behavior and letting that behavior dictate how we move through the world, thinking that successful men all act this way, because clearly there are successful men who don't. So the question remains again, Black women, what are you doing? What are you doing? We know what you don't want, but what do you want? Okay, let me tell you what I'm doing. Number one, I was on vacation in the Hamptons. Amen. Thank you, Lord. You know, that's the first thing I was doing. Second thing I was doing was, listen, I'm a huge sports fan. That's no secret, but big money baseball is out there. You know, you've got San Francisco still in the running, San Diego still in the running, the New York Yankees still in the running, the Houston Astros still in the running. You've got who else? Big money baseball that's out here. The Dodgers still in the running. These are very wealthy fan bases, and these men are out. So I have no idea why y'all are in the house talking about what you don't want when the men that you claim that you do want are out here right now. Second thing is, you know, I live in Austin, and I know that that is a blessing. Even though I'm not a single woman, you know, I definitely know, having two daughters of dating age, I'm grateful to be in the city where there are a lot of very successful men, and they are in a position to interact with a lot of very successful young men at their age. So I'm grateful for that. I'm also grateful for what it means for opportunities for my spouse, because birds of a feather flock together. So typically when he's around a lot of other successful, well-to-do men and he's entertaining those clients or he's interacting with his colleagues, that's an opportunity for him. And I can support him in that. And I'm grateful that I have that opportunity by living in this city. But those opportunities, that takes you being actively a part of life and getting out there. Another blessing that is out here is that right now, Arch Manning, who is the grandson of Archie Manning, who is the nephew of Peyton and Eli Manning, Super Bowl champions, will now be playing football for UT. He will be their quarterback. Is he going to start this year? I don't know. But a lot of people are very excited about that. So people all over the country are excited about that because, you know, Manning is a big last name in football. So if you are anywhere near a Big 12 school and there is a sports bar scene, I would suggest checking your local schedule and getting out there, because typically these are the type of games where it brings out a big crowd, and it also brings out the alumni and alumni dollars. So you ladies might need to be participating in that instead of talking about these dusties online. Like, I'm dead serious. The content creators doing a great job. Give them a like if they're going live, and then catch up on it later, but make sure that you know where the ball is at. You know what I mean? If we're tired of dusties and dusty behavior and dusty rhetoric, we shouldn't be validating it by retweeting and sharing their videos or whatever it is. responding and creating clapbacks and response videos to this type of behavior. We shouldn't. Not because there's too many eligible bachelors out here. There's too many, successful and accomplished men out here for us to be talking about what we don't want. Also, think about all these charity races that are coming up. I know like fall is a huge time here in Austin for like charity races like the turkey trot and those Halloween costume runs and all that stuff like that. You could definitely be getting involved and be rubbing elbows with people, because a lot of the charitable organizations or the corporations who sponsor these events, they have huge participants. They have a huge number of participants. Like a lot of young executives will usually participate in these runs to appeal to the higher ups. And I've noticed that all the time being a runner. And even also these companies that give a large amount of money to charity, or people who have the disposable income to donate to charity, are usually a part of these events. And you ladies are sitting here talking about, homosexual dusties and their rhetoric and how they're trying to justify it with these famous irresponsible men's behavior. So really the question becomes, what are you doing? Like, I get it. Some of you not into sports, and I really am. I'm really into sports, and I've always been. But there's got to be something. There's got to be some kind of cultural event or arts festival or gallery opening or, artistic street fair or something that's happening in your local community that's really going to get you around the men that you want to be around or the circles you want to be in, and not talking about these dusties, which it's clear that it's something you don't want. So the question becomes, what are you doing? What are you doing? And that's a question that I need for you to ask yourselves, because only you can answer that. This platform is amazing, and I'm so grateful for all the opportunities that I've gotten to listen, to interact, and to hear from great content creators. But at the same time, I'm not going to let that get in front of the Yankees Mets. I'm not going to let that get in front of, Astros, Oakland A's, where I know that people of influence are going to be out. I'm not going to let that get in the way of, L'Oreal Sarkison. If I think about it, she's really kicked down the doors for us. She is more recognizable in the city of Austin than the mayor's wife or Governor Abbott's wife. So people recognize her more than any other first lady. This is the first lady of UT football, and she's really kicking down the doors for you guys. And are you guys going to be in the house when Texas Big 12 hits the road with all of this positive promotion? Are you going to be in the house talking about I'm working on myself? I'm going to need for you ladies to just be out. Okay. This is a fantastic opportunity for you. Okay. And I just really want you ladies to take advantage of everything that life has to offer and stop giving these dusty men and their rhetoric your energy. Being famous or wealthy is not an excuse to not have a moral compass. So this is Mocha Mommy, and I'll see you ladies in the next video.